It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Pet Show. Are you being bullied by your basset hound? Does your calico kitten seem a little cranky? Is your Akita ready for some real analysis? Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and want to really get down and understand your dog or cat's behavior almost as well as they understand yours, if you're a bit confused about your dog or cat's behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch, bring those furry little buddies with you, folks. Yes, it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I say every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you want to join me on the ever-growing Pet Show family, if you have a question or comment, want to share a story, just want to brag about a dog or cat that you live with, or maybe your first dog or cat, or maybe some dog you recently rescued or a cat you recently saved, I'd love to hear from you. And if you happen to be, whether it be barking, jumping, digging, scratching, chewing, I don't care, whatever the scenario is, I'd love to help you resolve any issues with your dogs or cats, any issues they may be having with you as well. And again, if you've not listened to The Pet Show on a regular basis, which you should do, by the way, everyone that calls into this show and gets to talk to me live on the air will in fact get a pretty amazing gift, not for you, it's for that beautiful dog or cat. You know, I always get asked, Warren, why are you giving these gifts away? Well, a lot of my sponsors' gifts are there specifically to help resolve issues you may be having with your dogs or cats. So very often, the gift I'm giving, some of which as much as $25, $35, even $40 or $50, can really help resolve issues. So everyone that calls in, has a question or a comment, or just says a story, wants to brag a little bit, everyone that calls into the show gets to talk to me live, will absolutely get a pretty amazing gift for their dog or cat. So it's a great time to give me a call. By the way, if you want to watch the show live, I'll take a couple of questions on YouTube. I know you got to stare at me for 2 hours, but try to do it. If you do ask a question on YouTube, and I do take it, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. By the way, the phone number here at the Pet Show is 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-KRLA, or if you're more of a numbers person, that's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Lots of animals out there to help as well. Let me tell you what I have coming up on today's show. Your questions and comments are always my priority, by the way. The question of the day, let me just share that with you right up front. Do you believe that dogs and cats act and take on the persona of the people they live with? Do you believe that dogs and cats take on the personalities, persona of the people that they live with? I'd love to hear from you. If you get through, I'll send you a great gift. The question came up in an interview I was doing this week. You know, Warren, are your dogs just like you? Yeah, just like me, maybe a little better. So I'd love to hear from you guys if you think that your dogs or cats are kind of like you in terms of their personality, or if you have a friend's dog or a relative's dog or cat that fits that criteria as well. So again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Now, here's the bottom line. One of the stories I'm going to talk about today is very, very dear to my heart. You know, when I first started over 40 years ago, bottom line was this. No one heard the term PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. They didn't even hear it with military. They didn't even hear it with people. And it was just, you know, the last few years that we started hearing a lot about PTSD. And here's the bottom line. This is something that's been so dear to my heart. I have been working with some of the most aggressive shelters and rescues all up and down the East Coast, from North Carolina to South Carolina, to breaking up dog fights in Pennsylvania to New York, New Jersey, Maine, Ohio. And the bottom line is so many people adopt dogs and cats from these rescues and humane organizations. And all I can say to you guys is, bless you, bless you, bless you. Now remember, people say, well, these dogs and these cats come with baggage. Let's take that word baggage and toss it right out. These are dogs and cats that have been dealt a bad hand in life, and now it's up to us to change that hand and give them that royal flush. And that's what I worked on with literally tens of thousands of dogs, where I'd go into shelters and the shelter trainers and the people at the shelter would say, this dog is totally bad, nothing can be done, he's too shy, he's too aggressive, he's too this, he's too that. I just said, shut up, let me work with the dog a little bit. Let's not rush the dog. Let's give the dog some time to decompress. Let's understand the dog's behavior before you decide that this dog isn't going to make it and you're going to put him to sleep. Let me try to be analytical and figure out why the problem's there and take the best approach to resolve it. And the bottom line is, I'm honestly sitting here right now, I can say to you, not everyone was Rin Tin Tin when I finished, but not everyone was Cujo either. They all were able to ultimately be adopted, some to certain specific types of homes, but they would be adopted. So that brings me to the point of something I'm going to talk about later. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, may feel like it only affects humans, but dogs and cats can have it too. What to look for and what you can do. Does anyone out there think that maybe their dog or their rescue cat or their rescue dog may be suffering with PTSD? I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. And just to get me even angry today, you're not going to believe this story, folks. I got to share it with you. A pet owner, when you hear me use the word owner, I'm just pulling it directly from a story. You know that I like the word guardian so much better. A pet owner, God, I can't believe I got to do this. A pet owner throws a very large, lavish baby shower. Did you hear me? Baby shower for her pregnant cat. A pet owner throws a large, lavish baby shower for her pregnant cat. Boy, do I have a lot to say about that. I want to hear your thoughts, with thousands and thousands and thousands of kittens and cats and amazing animals being killed every year in the shelters. She is throwing a lavish baby shower for her pregnant cat. Spay and neuter, maybe adopt. What do you guys think about that? Is it okay for her to throw this lavish baby shower? Or maybe someone just needs to sit down and talk about it. I'd love to get your opinion on that as well. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. Now, also coming up, I am a butt watcher. Pet butt watcher, by the way. To clarify that. I want you to watch your dog's tail and their butt closely. Do you know that there's a big difference between a right-sided wag and a left-sided wag? Is your dog a right tail or a left tail wagger? What does it mean? I got those answers coming up as well. Also coming up, I wanted to get to this last week, but I didn't have time. Is your dog aging faster than you, and what you need to know about their changes? And the reason I bring this up, and it's so important to me because I deal with it all the time. No one, come on, you guys, no one wants to admit that their dogs are getting a little bit older, and dogs age a little quicker than us. So if we're marathon runners, or we're joggers, or we take extra long walks, are we harming our dogs because we are still in an age where it feels good and it's healthy, but maybe our dogs and cats need to slow down, and maybe those strolls need to be a little bit shorter? We'll talk about that as well. As always, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. Lots of great stuff to give away. So, if your dog or cat happens to be chewing, jumping, scratching, maybe your cat's confused about the litter box, maybe that rescued puppy isn't housebroken, maybe your dog doesn't get along with other dogs, or maybe your dog believes that if he sees it, he must hump it, give me a call, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Again, the question of the day, even if you just answer the question, I will send you a great gift. The question of the day is, do pets take on the personalities of the people that they live with? You know, I often talk about that, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but I often talk about that when I'm talking about some of my celebrity clients, because I got to tell you, people like David Letterman, Lily Tomlin, Rodney Dangerfield, Geraldine Ferraro, Al Pacino, Cheryl, all of their dogs had their exact personalities. I'm telling you, I spent an awful lot of time with them. So do you believe dogs and cats take on the personalities of the people they believe in, live with? Give me a call. Love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. Janet, Joe, don't go in there. I'll get to your calls, I promise. But I wanted to share something else. And I'm going to say this a few times throughout the day. You know, I get up real early in the morning, and sometimes I turn on the channels, and I'll do channel surfing at the local channels, and then I'll turn on the network channels and find out what's going on. And it's really great to watch the local channels here in LA and across the country. A lot of them do a lot of work, putting up dogs and cats for rescue or talking about rescue organizations. But it came to my concern. Someone brought this up to me. They tend to have very much similar or the same organizations over and over and over again. That's great because all these organizations do amazing work. So I have thousands and thousands of listeners. And here's the difference. Remember, everyone listening to the Pet Show is focused on pets, is focused on animals. So my audience is absolutely a targeted audience for this. So here's what I'm going to do. I did this on my New York show many, many years ago. Incredible success. Thousands of dogs found homes. If you know or are involved with a rescue humane group, a 501c3, that needs some public relations. A lot of these organizations have PR people. They're run by people that are in the media business, actors, actresses. They know how to generate public relations, and that's great. And I admire them for doing that. But the bottom line is, a lot of the organizations that my Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund have no PR people. They have no marketing people. They're busy having a white elephant sale to raise $50 to spay or neuter a dog or cat. So here's what I'm going to do. If you are involved with a 501c3 that really walks the walk, everyone's volunteering. I want you to contact me. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing an event section here on the show. Just a couple of different events every week, or a specific dog that may need a specific home. Not every dog, but a dog maybe or a cat with challenges. So if you're involved with a 501c3, or you know of a 501c3 rescue that really walks the walk but has no way of letting people know that they even exist, I want you to have them send me an email. Here's the email address. It's easy enough to remember. mail@thepetshow.com. mail@thepetshow.com. And not only will I be announcing it on the air, what I'll also be doing as the weeks go by, I'll be adding all of them, which we have many already, all of them on my social media pages as well. So it'll give exposure to the small mom and pops that never get it, that do amazing work, and we'll try to help you guys out as much as you can. So if you're involved with one, or you need some PR, or you have an event coming on, you have a fundraiser, let's say, going on, and you know how some of these fundraisers are all over TV and everyone knows about them. There's 50, 60 different organizations. They're great. I broadcast from a lot of them. But the bottom line is the small mom and pops all across California that need some help, contact me. I will do my best to make sure I can promote or perhaps find some great homes for your dogs and cats. And if you listen to the show for as many years as we've been on, you know that we have found homes for three-legged dogs, deaf dogs, blind dogs, dogs, cats that no one else even would consider. My listeners are the best. So if you're involved with a group, I want to hear from you. Or if you have a question or comment about your dog or cat, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Janet, don't go in there. I'll get to your call. Do have a couple of open lines. We're just starting the show, so if you have a question or a comment, want to share a story, you want to tell me whether or not you believe that pets take on the personalities, or if you want to recommend a local rescue or humane organization, great time to give me a call. Again, the phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Also, if you have any questions about fireworks or what you can do for the 4th of July, give me a call. I'll guide you through that as well. But right now, let me tell you about my good friends. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call if you have a question or a comment, want to share a great story, want to brag about a local rescue or humane group you're working with, or if you just want to answer the question of the day, do you believe that dogs and cats take on some of the personalities of the people that they live with? I'd love to hear from you. On today's show, it's no different. I got some super stuff to give away, including Hugs and Kisses, vitamin mineral supplement treats. Those are my own. I got lots of Lucy pet food to give away, kitty lickies, Arthursuit Gold, copies of my best-selling books. As I said, Lucy Pet Food, the brand new T-shirts are in, saying none of my friends walk upright, all natural herbal flea spray. I got No Scooty. I have one of those dogs that scoops on their butt. I got some of that to give away, allergy aid, lots of great stuff to give away. Everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live on the air will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. If you want to check out the live YouTube feed and see the mug behind the microphone, check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Janet, just before I get to you, I know I've been making you whole, but just before I get to you, I want to share this story because this story really got me. I almost said a word I shouldn't say on the radio. Pet owner throws lavish baby shower for pregnant cat. Come on, you guys got to respond to this. A pet owner has gone viral with thousands and thousands of hits because she threw a lavish baby shower complete with balloons and gifts. It was all over TikTok. They call it a heartwarming video. I don't call it a heartwarming video at all. The mom, the cat's name is Cleo. She enjoyed the celebration. People came over, and what they were doing is throwing a lavish party for a bunch of cat litter, kittens, and I love the kittens, and I'm sure they're adorable and great. However, until all of the kittens perhaps are out of the shelters, rescues, humane societies, and feral colonies, maybe this was not the right choice. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it was okay? I guess it's okay for her to do it, but do you think it was the right thing for her to do to throw a lavish baby shower for her pregnant cat? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. And one more thing before I get to you, Janet and Carol, I promise. Alorophobia, you know what that is? Alorophobia is the fear of cats. Some humans suffer with this, but what about dogs? You know, I have extensive files, having worked with over 40,000 animals. I don't have all the files, but I got a good amount of them, and I've written as many books as I've had. Some of the stories are in the book. So I was going through one of my files and came across a situation I worked with. Doesn't come up that often, but it does come up. I worked with where the family dog was allorophobic. The dog was petrified of cats. I called it the dog with feline phobia. Has anyone out there experienced that? Has anyone out there, or does anyone out there live with a dog or has had a dog or knew of a dog that suffered with alorophobia or the fear of cats? It took me a long time to get this dog through that fear, and in a lot of years after that, I've worked with many more that have gone through that. So I want to know from you guys, anybody have a dog out there that's afraid of cats? We hear it the other way around, but this time it's your dog afraid of cats. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let's go to my friend Janet in the San Fernando Valley. Hey, Janet, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Well, that kitten shower story you just shared with us very likely led to my situation currently. I guess it might have been a couple weeks ago now. A 4-month-old kitten was abandoned on my driveway.
Wow.
Adorable little thing. I have already had 2 inside cats and feed a bunch of community cats, so I was hoping to find a good home for it. Brought it inside, and it hissing at my 2 indoor cats anytime either of them got near it. But the big problem is that it's pooping and peeing all over a couple of sofas and my roommate's bed, and it occasionally has gone in the little litter box I set up for it. Brand new litter box, brand new litter, so the other cat smell wouldn't be on it. What happened was, and one of the inside cats.
Yeah, but let me stop you first. Let me stop you for just a second. Brand new litter box, brand new litter. which meant that the other cat's scent wasn't in there, and I agree with you. But the new cat's scent wasn't in there either, was it?
No, although once it went in there, then we, left some of its stuff in there so it would know it was its litter box.
Yeah, but again, this was a cat that was outdoors, so this was the type of cat that probably wasn't going in the same area over and over again and would only use a clean area. So what I'm suggesting to you... Go ahead.
The cat is so friendly, though, that I have a feeling it did not look at all dirty or like street cat. I think it was just abandoned by somebody. It looks like it was hand raised because it's super friendly, super affectionate.
Let me. Some cats are just like that. Some cats, some puppies are just like that. Even older dogs and cats. Here's what I want you to try. Obviously, you hear me say this till I'm green. I want you to clean up all the areas where the cat is gone using a stain and odor remover, enzymatic, specifically made for pets. That's imperative. Now, it might be a little more difficult to get it out of the furniture, but I want you to do that. That's number one. Number two, instead of putting down one litter box, I want you to put down 2 litter boxes alongside of each other for this cat. And one litter box is going to be litter, and the other litter box is going to be dirt and grass from outside around the front area where you might have found the cat. I want dirt and grass in that litter box, and then after she starts going in there, which you probably will, I want you to start removing the dirt a little bit at a time and start adding the litter, and we'll make the conversion. But it may be that she was going outside and is a little fearful of going in the litter right now. Could also be other things. When she does poop, is a poop firm, loose, diarrhea, constipation, anything?
Well, normally it's solid, but this morning there was a diarrhea extravaganza all over the.
Well, she may have stomach issues as well. She might have been a little constipated, may have a little diarrhea, maybe doesn't want to go into that litter box. Her poop smells a little bit different. You changed her food. All of these things play. So here's what I want you to do: clean up those areas, put down those 2 litter boxes, spend more time with the new cat on the areas where she's gone after you've cleaned it up, the couch, the chair, whatever. Spend more time with her there. The 2 litter boxes, clean up the area as I suggested. Let's try that for a week or two. Let's give this cat a shot. Give it a week or two. If you're not seeing results, call me back. We'll go further.
May I add one other thing that I think is the problem? One of the cats escaped out of the house, haven't been able to find her because of this situation. The other one I've been keeping in another part of the house, but whenever I sometimes have to let her out because she can't stay all the time in my room. When that cat goes into the part of the house where the kitten is, that's when it seems like the kitten is most acting up and, doing the peeping and
because we have to get the cats to get along with each other. I'm sorry, the other cat got out. Well, first thing you need to do is some scent swapping. Get the scent of the kitten, let the other cat live with it. Get the scent of the other cat, let the kitten live with it. Rub it on each other so they have the scent of each other on them. Then what you do is gradually, when you bring them together, make sure it's a fascinating area with boxes and bags all over the place so they're not as focused on each other. Give them 5 minutes. When they start ignoring each other, that's enough for that day, and then you move on little by little. Let me do this because it would take me an hour to go through everything you need to do. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. There's a whole chapter in there in socializing. And what makes my job easy, and please take this the right way, is when people do try a few things that don't work. I think using the dirt and grass from a litter box, putting a second litter box, and getting the cats to get along with each other, and maybe that the kitten's going out of the litter box, feeling intimidated by the other cats, and therefore trying to be a little bit territorial about it, or not wanting to go in a little box because she doesn't want the other cats to find it. So a lot of things going on there. Keep me posted. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question or comment, your dog is jumping or humping, your cat's not using a litter box, scratched your favorite chair, peed on your bed, your new dog doesn't like your new boyfriend, give me a call. Let me know. And I will send you a great gift if you get through. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Or does anyone know of anyone who has a dog out there? Perhaps you had a dog that was afraid of cats. I want to hear from you guys as well. It's called Ailurophobia. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Suzette, we're giving Janet a copy of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want. 866-870-KRLA. A quick break, then right back at you. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is it, folks. America's first and only real pet psychology, training, behavior, lifestyle show. Brings pet guardians together. So if you have a question or a comment, want to find out why your dog or cat is behaving a certain way, I'd love to hear from you. If you have a great rescue dog or rescue cat story, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. And I always say this, but the reason for that is very often your stories about rescuing a dog or cat is just enough to encourage other people. You know what? I've been thinking about it. Maybe now's the day for me to go out and do it. So if you have a recently rescued dog or cat, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to answer my question of the day, if you believe that dogs and cats take on the personality people they live with, give me a call. I'd like to hear about that as well. Also like to hear from anyone out there that may have a dog that's afraid of cats. It's called ailurophobia. I recently was going through some of my records and came across a situation I worked with a few years back to help resolve that issue. And also someone on my YouTube, I believe it was Laura, who commented that maybe what the woman who did the lavish baby shower for a cat, maybe everyone should give her vouchers for spay and neuter. I don't think vouchers would help at this point. So I'd love to get your take on that. Do you think it was the right thing to do for a pet owner to throw a lavish baby shower for her pregnant cat? Does that encourage other people to do it? Give me a call. Let me know. I still got hugs and kisses to give away, copies of my books, Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies for your cats, all natural herbal flea spray, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. I got a couple of lines open, pretty rare here on the Pet Show, so great time to call me, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. Let's go to Carol in Van Nuys. Hey, Carol, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi.
How are you
Hope
today?
you're having a good day.
I'm always having a good day. I just look at my dogs when I wake
That's
up in the
good.
morning and my day
what
starts
you said
right.
about PTSD,
Yeah.
definitely cats and dogs get it. We took in my younger daughter has took in a stray that was down the street, and and our mother cat adopted him, and so did her kids, her kittens that we kept. 3 of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was so friendly. Everyone in the building loved him. He always went up to kids, and he played with dogs. But one day, some bad kids that used to live down the hall from us, after our mother cat died on Christmas morning, he snuck out. He got out, and my daughter went looking for him, and she couldn't find him. And actually, this was when she was sick, dying, actually, and he got out, and she couldn't find him. The mother cat, Snow, actually traced him down the hall and out by the mailbox, but we couldn't find him. And we put up notices. We found out the mother saw the notice that he was helping his brother who was dying from cancer. She brought him back to us. He was no longer as friendly.
Yeah, so I don't want to run out of time. So now the bottom line is, so this cat got out when your daughter was suffering. Someone brought the cat back, and when the cat came back, it was reacting entirely different when the cat got out.
Saw him, they trapped him, and they kept him in their apartment. We found out they abused him, and they did stuff.
All right, so that would specifically cause PTSD. PTSD is caused in a lot of cases. Yeah. So how is the cat now? That's the bottom line.
Well, he died a few years ago.
I'm sorry. So yeah,
he got back to, after a while. He got back to his routine, and he was still friendly, but not as friendly.
Yeah. So traumatic experiences do that. So what? Do you have any pets right now, Carol?
Actually, no. Our last cat died on Easter and his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
But,
so
he also had PTSD because those same kids.
Yeah,
later on,
it's a kid. It's a kid. It's a
cat, and my daughter rescued him when they just kicked him out.
Carol, it's a kid. Carol, I got to put you on hold. It's a kid problem. It's not a cat problem. Someone's got to teach those kids and straighten them out. That's what needs to be done. Let's send Carol a T-shirt that says "None of my friends woke up right." Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Hugs and kisses, Authors of Gold. Some of the products I'm giving away today's show, and I am in a giveaway mood, are worth as much as $50. So if you have a question or a comment, just want to answer one of my questions, I'd love to hear from you. Also, I put out this plea. I'm letting you guys know. Every day I get inundated on my Facebook pages, my Instagram pages, my website from humane groups saying, we need help, Warren, we need help. Well, I want to give you that help. So here's the bottom line. If you're involved with a local rescue organization, nonprofit 501c3 that doesn't have marketing people, doesn't have public relations people, but really needs to get your information out there. Maybe you're having a sale somewhere. Maybe you have a thrift shop. Maybe you're having a fundraiser, a car wash. I hit tens of thousands of people every single week here on the show, and even more than that on my social media. And the bottom line is I can help get that information out there. So if you're involved with a 501c3 that needs some PR, I'll promote it here on the show. I'll promote it on my website. We'll list all of your events. Send me an email. That's all I can do. Send me an email and I will promote it. The email is mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. You know, people are always asking me, Warren, what organization should I donate money to? What little organization can I really help? Well, here's your opportunity. I'm giving it to you. How else you can hit thousands and thousands of people every week and at the same time, be able to save a lot of dogs and cats out there. I did this when I was on WOR in New York many years ago, and literally we would find homes for 20, 30 animals every single week on the air. So if you're involved with an organization, want to tell me about an organization, got a question about your dog or cat, I do have an open line or two, pretty rare here on the Pet Show. Great time to call me. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. If you have a dog or cat suffering with PTSD, or if you think dogs or cats take on personalities of the people, or I want to hear from more people. What do you think about this woman that was bragging about the fact that her cat was pregnant and she was throwing a lavish baby shower? Forget the fact of how many thousands of cats are killed every year because there are no homes. She was throwing a baby shower. I'd love to hear for her cat. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get to a quick break. There's some phone calls. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. If you love your dogs and love your cats, I'm assuming you do. If you want to find out why they behave the way they do, if you have questions or comments, want to share a story, they're not housebroken, they're jumping. Maybe they're getting older and you notice some changes. Maybe you have a new cat and the old cat's not getting along with it. Maybe they peed on your bed, they scratched your favorite chair, your cat's knocking things off the counter. You take your dog for a walk. He's lovely till he sees another dog. Then he turns into Cujo. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the show and gets to talk to me will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. And if you're new to the show, we're not giving away milk bones and biscuits. Many of the items I give away here on the show are worth $25, $35, $45, even $50. And many of them will help resolve issues you may be having with your dog or cat. So if you have a question or a comment about your pet, just want to respond to my question of the day. Do pets take on the personalities of the people they live with? Or if you want to comment on the lady threw a baby shower for a pregnant cat, great time to give me a call, and I will send you a super gift for your dog or cat. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let's go to my friend Jennifer from Norco. Hey, Jennifer, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. I rescued a little Karen Terrier dog a couple of years ago.
A little Toto dog from the Wizard of Oz.
A little Toto dog,
Yeah.
but his name is Bobby. And so he itches a lot, and I gave him the Bravecto pill that the vet said to give him, and he's still itching, and he said to give him Benadryl. Well, I tried that too, but now he's suggesting maybe antibodies, an injection of antibodies, and I never heard of that.
What is he itching about? Did the vet do an allergy test? Is the dog allergic to stuff? I mean, was there an allergy test?
No, they haven't done any allergy tests.
So, have they done any food tests at all to see if the dog's allergic to food?
Oh, nothing like that.
So why is he giving all the dog all this medication? If he doesn't know what's causing the problem, why is he giving the dog medication at this point?
Yeah,
I mean, if the dog's itching a lot, I'm sure he's giving him medication just to calm it down or cool it down, as they say. But the bottom line is, to go through all these tests. Here's what I'm going to do. I want you to follow your vet's advice. I'm maybe getting a second opinion also. It never hurts. But I'm also going to do this. I am going to send you a jar of my Hugs and Kisses supplements, okay? There's been no test saying the dog's allergic. And let me tell you why. In the Hugs and Kisses supplements, my heart and soul went into this product. I developed it, over 30 years ago and improved it a couple of years back. Now, in terms of skin and coat, this was the main reason I developed Hugs and Kisses, and I'll tell you why. I was getting so many emails, so many letters, so many callers on the radio, so many letters to Regis and Kathy Lee, the Today Show. Warren, our dog's shedding is going crazy, our cat's shedding his skin, whatever. Things like a dog and cat hair is a condiment in my house. There's so much of it. So I developed Hugs and Kisses originally with the main premise of stopping excessive shedding, and so what I did is I made sure it has a product called lecithin. Nothing better for a dog's skin and coat than lecithin. And I said a couple of years back when I changed, I said, you know what? Let's improve it. Let's add something beyond lecithin. Let's add a product called biotin. So now the Hugs and Kisses supplement has both lecithin and biotin, and that combination is incredible for skin, coat, many other things, digestion that Hugs and Kisses do. But in your case, the skin and coat is a priority. So I'm going to send you a jar of the Hugs and Kisses supplement. By the way, the most expensive thing I give away. I'm going to send you a jar of, my pleasure. I'm going to send you a jar of the Hugs and Kisses. You might want to still follow through on some of the tests with the vet. My only concern is that, very often if the vet's just giving the medication right now because the dog is really in a lot of stress, I understand that. But to give him the medication on a regular basis before actually finding out what's causing it, we don't know that. It might just be diet. It might just be something else. So I'm going to send you the Hugs and Kisses. You got to promise to give me a call back and let me know how you're doing.
I will. I have an appointment on Monday with him.
There you go. So my question of the day to you is, do you believe that pets take on the personality of the people they live with?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
What's a personality trait that your dog has that you have?
He likes classical music.
Oh, man.
So do I.
You know, it's interesting that you said that. I had the opportunity many, many years ago working with B.J. Thomas. Sorry, he passed away, but an interesting guy. And his dog only liked his songs. It was kind of amazing how they choose what you listen to the most. And if you listen to classical music, that's going to be their favorite.
He does. He likes it.
and my dog, Denise listens to, she has the most eclectic take in me. I have no idea what she listens to. Me, I'm more of kind of like a old rock and folk music and reggae and
Sure.
my dogs like her music better than mine. Anyway, listen, don't go anywhere, Jen. We're going to put you on hold. The lovely Suzette's going to pick up. We're going to send you some hugs and kisses for your dog. Give me a call back. Let me know how you're doing. Great time to give me a call. I got a couple of open lines, which is pretty rare on the Pet Show. I got more hugs and kisses to give away. I got more Author Suit Gold, copies of my books, Kitty Lickies, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. And we are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. If you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat, want to find out why they're behaving the way they're doing, jumping, humping, digging, scratching. You take your dog for a walk and he's not thrilled about it. Maybe your cat stopped using the litter box. You know, there are so many reasons why pets do things, why our dogs behave a certain way, why our cats behave a certain way. And it's important for pet guardians to be aware of any changes that they might see. Changes can really be indicative of what's going on in your dog or cat's head. And very often what happens is guardians misread what the dog's going through. As a matter of fact, one of the topics I'm going to be talking about the next hour, and I'd love to hear from you guys, and I do have lots of open phone lines, which is rare. So it's a great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to break for the top of the hour just for a minute or two, then I'll get back to your calls. I got lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-KRLA. Besides answering the questions I pose to you guys, whether pets are like them, people are answering that on my YouTube channel, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people responding to that cat, that woman who's throwing a lavish baby shower for our pregnant cat to brag about it. A lot of response on that. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. But also, give me a call. I want to hear about this. Would you be able to identify what emotions your dog or cat is feeling? It's a brand new study that came out that said that is it possible that dogs and cats can feel complex emotions? I've been saying this for years, but so many people in my profession disagree with me and say, no, it's all survival instinct. It's all going back to the pack this and pack that. I believe that our dogs and cats do in fact have complex emotions. They can feel things like disgust, fear, joy, sadness, and surprise, amusement, anxiety, boredom, confusion, curiosity, interest, disappointment, embarrassment, empathy, frustration, grief, guilt, shame, jealousy, love, affection, pain, positive anticipation, and pride. Just a small list I put together. I believe that. And people say sometimes, Warren, you're a little anthropomorphic. You're a little too close with the pets that you've been working with for so many years. I wear it as a badge of honor. Maybe they're right. But I believe that our dogs and cats over the years have had the ability to adapt and adjust and establish very similar emotions to their pet guardians like you and I have. That's one of the reasons I've been doing this show for so many years, because so many people misconstrue or misunderstand what their dog or cat may be doing or behaving in a certain way because they're not familiar with the certain types of complex emotions that dogs have. So we're going to take a break for the top of the hour. I'd love to hear from you. You have a question or comment, humping, jumping, housebreaking. You want to answer the question whether or not pets have the personalities of the people they live with. You want to respond to the lady who had the baby shower. Or I'd love to hear from while we go to commercial break. Here's what I want you to do. Take a close look at your dog's rear end. Yeah, not too many people are going to say that. I'm saying it. Take a close look at your dog's rear end. When we come back, I want to hear from people. Tell me if your dog is wagging his tail to the left, to the right, or both. And I'll tell you exactly what that means coming up. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to
Dr. Sebastian.
Warren Eckstein, the man for your pets. We tried to stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. He sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, you have come to the right place. If you want to understand your dogs and cats' behavior as well as they understand yours, maybe you're a bit confused about your dog or cat's behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, stay tuned. You're listening to The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is it, folks. America's first and only real pet psychology. We'll analyze your dog or cat. Usually it's your problem. Pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle. So if you have any questions or comments, great time to give me a call if you want to find out why your dog may be chewing, jumping, humping, your cat is scratching. Maybe you have a dog a cat that's confused about the litter box, or a rescue dog that's not housebroken. Maybe your dog doesn't get along with other dogs, doesn't like certain people. Your dog believes he has to hump everything he sees. You have a new cat and the cat doesn't get along. You take your dog for a walk and the minute he sees another dog, you lose control. He goes absolutely crazy. Great time to give me a call. Or if you want to respond, if you just tuned in, I was telling the story about a woman who was throwing her pregnant cat a lavish baby shower, complete with balloons and people bringing gifts. She even posted a heartwarming video, so she said, on TikTok, with thousands of cats and kittens being killed every year. I cannot comprehend why someone would be throwing a baby shower for kittens or cat, and perhaps maybe spay and neuter is the way to go. I'd like to take your thoughts. Do you think having a baby shower for kittens is the right thing to do, knowing how many kittens are killed and cats are killed every year? I'd love to hear from you. If you believe that pets take on the personalities of the people, I'd love to hear from you as well. Just a reminder that everyone that calls into the Pet Show gets to talk to me live. We'll get a fabulous gift. Now, again, if you're new to the Pet Show, let me reiterate why I give these gifts away. It's not because I love you guys, although I do. But many of the things you call me about, whether it be the dog who's scooting their butt on the back, or you just heard a call earlier about a woman's dog who is excessive shedding, many of the items I give you are specifically given to you based on the fact that will help resolve any issues you might be having with your dog or cat. So if you have a question or a comment, want to share a story, or just want to brag a little bit about a new dog or cat you rescued, I'd love to hear from you. The phone number here at the Pet Show, and as I said, everyone will get a great gift, 866-870 KRLA. That's 866-870 KRLA. Or if you're more of a numbers person, that's 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. I got my best-selling books, either dog or cat, to give away. I got lots of kitty lickies, Lucy pet food. Those brand new t-shirts just came in, the ones that say none of my friends walk upright, with a brand new logo. I got some of those to give away as well. All natural herbal flea spray, allergy spray, anti-lick paw spray, hot spot foam, Orthosue Gold. Everyone that calls in with a question or a comment will get one of these fabulous gifts for their dog or cat. Again, that number, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. You know, in the first hour, what I did is I actually told people that I wanted to start something new here on the Pet Show. I haven't done this for years. I did it in New York many years ago. The success rate for finding homes was unbelievable. Now, here's the story. If you are involved or know of a rescue group, a humane organization, a rescue group, 501c3 nonprofit, You know, you can watch TV and they do a great job. They promote this rescue, this humane organization, this rescue, this humane organization. Generally, it's the ones that are a little bit larger, but very often they do the small ones as well. But it's the small mom and pop rescues that do the bulk of rescuing across the United States. And very often, they're so busy raising $50 to spay a dog or $100 to rescue some dogs or kittens. And where do they go? What do they do? Where do they get their money from? Maybe a white elephant sale, a yard sale. And I said, you know what? These are the people that do the bulk of the work. How can I help them out? And years ago, I was able to raise thousands and thousands of dollars. So we're going to try this again. Listen to me carefully. If you know of a rescue 501c3 that needs some public relations and needs to get their information out there, that's what I do. We save more animals on this show than probably any other aspect. And here's the bottom line. I want to hear about these groups. What I'll do is every week I'll announce a couple on the air. I'll put them on my social media sites, which has thousands of people. I'll promote it as much as I can. And the big organizations as well. If you're running an event, if you're having a big event, if you're having a group, a big adoption, give me an email. Let me know about it. No one else in Southern California hits as many pet lovers as I do when they're specifically focused on their pets. Obviously, they're listening to The Pet Show. So if you're involved with a group, send me an email, mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com, and I will help promote your organization. As a matter of fact, I just mentioned it about 15 minutes ago, and this just came across my site. Hi, I wanted to recommend a wonderful dog rescue in Southern California. It's named A Home Forever. I love that already. A Home Forever. They rescue dogs from high-kill shelters. I adopted my Molly, not my Molly, her Molly, from them. She was a hard-to-place pup, but they never gave up on her, and neither did I. She's my precious baby girl. I listen to the show every week, and I love it, and I feed my pets Lucy Pet, but that's great. So the name of the organization, I want them to send me more info as well so I can post it, but she's recommending a group called A Home, the number 4, Ever. A Home Forever. Great organization from what she's telling me. If you're involved with an organization or if you know of an organization, and I know it's hard, believe me, I'm on the board of directors for the oldest no-kill shelter in the United States. It's called the Bidewee Home. They have shelters in New York City, 2 on Long Island, 2 cemeteries. It's just an incredible organization. It actually was the first no-kill organization pretty much in the country. But they have, they have public relations and marketing people and a large budget, and I love them. They do a lot of work. But you know, my heart has always been, and where I got my start working with Rescue and Humane is the people with the dirty fingernails, the people who donate everything they possibly can, the small organizations, the amazing, and there are some great organizations here in Southern California where the people are as compassionate. I love the Brittany Foundation, Milo Sanctuary, great organizations. There are some amazing organizations, and if any of them are having an event and you want me to announce it on the air, I'm making that promise right here. I'm going to try to promote more and more rescues and humane organizations that normally would not get the public relations on the TV shows based on the fact that they don't have the marketing and public relations people that have to. So send me an email if you're involved or want to talk about an organization. Send me an email at mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. Bruce, I'm going to get to you. Vicky, I'm going to get to you. Ruth, I'm going to get to you. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Just before I get to your phone calls, hang in there. I will get some great gifts for you. I want to talk about yawns. Yeah, yawns. I know you're not yawning during my show. Who would yawn during my show? Nobody, of course. But listen to me carefully. Dogs yawn when they're stressed. I wrote this up this week. It's part of, if you're not following me on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, this is what I do on YouTube almost every day. I put up new items. Some are just short ones, a minute or so. But here's something I put up. Dogs yawn when they're stressed. Yawning can be a sign of empathy. A dog may catch their yawns from humans. You know, if someone yawns in my presence, I start to yawn as well. The new evidence suggests that dogs may have the capacity of empathy. New evidence. Who's ever lived with a dog that doesn't realize that the dogs have empathy? A good yawn lowers their blood pressure, helps them stay calm. A lot of dogs will yawn when they're being petted. That's probably because they're happy and they're receiving attention. Dogs yawn when they're tired as well. Psychologists believe that dog yawns as a way to build social connections, and some evidence suggests that yawning helps. It's amazing, absolutely amazing what we learn about our pets every day. So it's not because you're boring them. Someone might call me on the show and say, "Hey, Warren, my dog's yawning. Does that mean I'm boring him?" Well, maybe you are, but that's not the reason for yawning. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let's start out with Bruce in L.A. Hey, Bruce, welcome to the Pet Show.
Yes.
Hey, Bruce, how you
Warren?
doing? Yeah, hey, Bruce, how's that? What's up?
Good. Let me take you off of the speaker because I know that echoes. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely, like you're right next to me. What's up?
Okay. Listen, I have a poodle pointer. She's 18 months old. She's a beautiful dog, beautiful personality, loving, but she doesn't bark at anything or anybody.
Have you ever heard her bark? Have you ever heard her bark?
I have heard her bark.
Okay, so then I'm just saying she has the ability to bark. We have to determine that first. Okay. Now, this is going to sound absolutely insane. One of the more insane things I've talked about on the show. But, my specialty was teaching dogs for military, police departments, and I talked about this on my nephew's podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. How that in training a lot of guard dogs when I was working in New York and some of the areas where they saved my life. But the bottom line is there are certain dogs that have to be taught to bark. Poodles are incredibly bright dogs. Here's what you need to do. You need to get down on your hands and knees. You need to start barking alongside your dog. And when I say barking alongside your dog, I don't mean rough, rough, rough. I've yet to hear a dog go rough, rough, rough. Make some noise. Just get the dog a little excited. She might look at you cross-eyed the first time, give her a pat on the head, say thank you, and walk away. The next day, maybe a little bit more assertive. Third day, maybe a little bit more assertive. Fourth and fifth. Little by little, you need to teach the dog to bark the same way you would teach her how to do anything else. But you want to make sure she learns what to bark at. So if you want her to bark at the front door, have someone at the front door either knock or ring the bell. That's when you're on your knees teaching the dog to bark by you barking alongside of her. You don't have to tell your neighbors. You might want to pull the shades. But again, you can teach a dog to bark. Dogs tend to pick up on what their guardians do. So by getting down on all fours and barking alongside the dog and praising her a little bit as she makes progress, eventually the barking, and the next call you're going to be making to me is, Warren, how do I shut her up? I promise.
Right.
What kind? Okay. Well, you said she was a poodle, Bruce?
She's a poodle pointer.
What a combination. What does she look like?
She's kind of long hair like a poodle.
Yeah.
Floppy ears. She's got the fur instead of hair. And she's kind of brown with a little.
She must be beautiful. You don't see too many pointers anymore. Years ago, and as I said, dogs go through the changes just like people. Years ago, when I was working a lot of training, I'm talking about the 70s and 80s. There were so many German short-haired pointers, German wire-haired pointers, so many different types of pointers out there that you don't see too many pointers. Every once in a while, I'll come across why am I losing it? A griffin. There's so many different kinds of pointers out there. You don't see too many, but amazing dogs. Anyway, don't go anywhere. I am going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you some Lucy pet food for your dog. Give her a hug, give her a kiss, give her some Lucy pet food. Get on all fours and bark. You might tell your friends and family that you're going to be doing this so they don't think that you're absolutely nuts. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I love getting calls like that because generally someone's come up, hey, Warren, my dog barks too much. What can I do? My dog is barking. Quick break. Don't go anywhere. Vicky, Ruth, Nancy, we'll get to your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away as well. Love that we got that letter from an organization called A Home for A Home Forever. A Home Forever. We'll talk more about them. I'll post that up as well. But again, if you're involved, I love the big organizations. You see them advertising on TV sometimes, and they have lots of them have millions and millions and millions of dollars. My thought has always been this: the rescue groups I work with, if they have a lot of money in the bank, maybe they're not doing all they can do to save as many animals as they can. That's why I am, And that's what my Hugs and Kisses, my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund does. And if you're not familiar with that, we raise money and give it to all the small mom and pops across the country. And that's what I want to do, especially here in LA. This is my home now. Yeah, I may sound like I'm from New York or Long Island, but California is my home. I've been in Santa Monica now for God, a lot of years. And I want to help as many small rescues as I can. And I think in the Los Angeles area, there are probably more rescue humane organizations than anywhere else in the country. If you're a small one and you're kind of getting lost a little bit, you're doing everything you can with your heart and your head, but you're getting lost a little bit, those are the groups I want to hear from. Send me an email, mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com, and I will help you generate the publicity you may need for your next event or to help you raise some funds. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870 KRLA. A quick break, then right back to your phone calls. You know, for many, many years, and I think it's like 6 or 7 years, you heard me talk about Lucy Pet Food. What else can I say about Lucy Pet Food other than this? It's the food I feed my own pets, and you know how much I love Molly and Willie. A day does not go by when I look at Molly and Willie and say, you know, how amazing. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number 866-870-KRLA. I noticed that I was just looking at my YouTube. By the way, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? It's free. I share information there almost every day. Great tips, fun videos, even videos there when I was doing the Mickey Mouse Club and the Merv Griffin show. Just check it out, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. But one of the notes is someone is asking if will Warren teach a new trick every week, and it takes a little bit of time. But if we have time today, I may tell you about the most difficult thing, well, not the most difficult, but one of the most unusual things I ever taught a dog to do. And it wasn't teaching the, Mrs. Sulzberger, the owner of the New York Times, had a cha-cha with a Papillon. But I taught a dog, I'll talk about it later, but let me just give you a little hint, a little tease here. I taught a dog to play cards. And the dog won $20,000. A whole different story. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let me get back. Now that I got you thinking, let me get back to the phones here. Let's go to Vicky in Sylmar. Hey, Vicky, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey.
A chewing beagle. I love it. Well, how old is your dog?
Well, we don't know because she happens to be a rescue. Our trash man found her wandering, and he knew that we were doggy people, my husband and I. And so we tried to find her owner, and she's chipped, but it was like she's a gift from God that was supposed to be for us. So anyway, she chews everything. I buy her chew toys, but she will chew up Kleenex. She'll chew up cardboard. She brings me rocks. She doesn't chew on them most of the time, but she'll bring me rocks a lot of the time. And she's over chewer basically.
How old is she, Vicky?
I think she's about 3.
Okay, let me go over every possible reason why a dog will chew, okay? Number one is obviously when they're young, they're teething. However, if the dog doesn't have the opportunity to go through a normal teething process, even though physiologically they're done teething, psychologically they develop something called latent psychological teething, where what happens is the chewing, and when a dog chews, it's kind of like a person scratching their head or smoking a cigarette, God forbid, or taking a drink. What it does is it's a way of calming themselves down. So very often that might have been one of the things, the fact that the people didn't come back and get them, or you couldn't find, whatever that reason, tells me that probably the dog was from a stressed out situation. And so that's number one. So let's say it's a psychological teething. Also, they can chew because they're bored. They can chew because they're not getting enough exercise. They can chew if they're having pain with their teeth or gums. And 85 to 90% of dogs will chew if they have teeth or gum problems. And also sometimes they have just a bizarre craving where they'll chew on things they don't. But the fact that he's chewing on everything, I think it sounds to me like it's more of a confidence thing than anything else. From what you're telling me, you're dog people, so I'm sure he's getting plenty of exercise and he's not bored at all. So what I'd like you to do, number one, is what I want you to do is I want you to go out and buy a dozen brand new toys for him. All right, hit the bank. Listen carefully. I'm going to save you money in the long run. What I want you to do.
So many already.
I know, but listen, you can give a kid 100 different toys. He's going to find one that he absolutely loves. So what I want you to do is get a dozen toys. I want you to put 6 brand new ones down on Monday morning. Leave those down for 2 days. Pick those up Wednesday morning. Put 6 new ones down. Leave those down till Friday, pick those up, and then put the old ones back again. I want you to start rotating his toys on a regular basis so they're like brand new every time he gets them. That's really, really important. Number 2.
Well, she already has a bunch.
Yeah, but in other words, it's not like they were taken away and given back.
Right.
So in other words, if you have a child and the kid's playing with toys and you take that toy away, you give it back the next day, it's like a brand new toy all over again. Same thing with a dog's mouth. It's like a brand new toy. Right. If possible, increase the exercise. I think that would be really, really important. The rotation of the toys is really critical. The next time you're at the vet, I want you to definitely ask him to check the teeth and the gums. That may be part of it as well. Have you done any training with the dog at all?
Well, I was going to, and it just so happens my husband and I are a little too busy. Well, my husband's disabled, and so basically I've just not really gotten down to taking her somewhere. I'm trying my best. We are in a dog neighborhood, and a lot of people give me advice, so I can tell you that.
Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do it. You can do it yourself. I'm going to send you a copy of the book. I want you to do it yourself because here's what I think that's going on. Beagles, one of the easiest dogs to train. I'm only kidding. I love beagles. But here's the thing to remember. What I want you to do is work with him for short periods of time. Make sure you always end on a positive note. And the reason I'm sending you the book and the reason I want you to do the training is I honestly believe that the chewing is a way of alleviating stress from previous times in his life. And by using the basic training, what we do is we actually build up the dog's confidence. And once we build up the dog's confidence and the dog's self-esteem, you'll note that chewing problem will start to dissipate, unless there's a physical reason, which your vet will tell you. So what I'm going to do is you give that. Bless you and your husband for taking this dog in. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you guys a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want. It's unbelievable how these dogs wind up. I mean, the dog is chipped and they still couldn't get the right home for it. But there are many different behaviors that dogs have that people, oh, he's just a bad dog, he's chewing. He's just a bad dog, he's doing this. He's just a bad cat, he's doing that. Sometimes you have to take the time. I just laid out for Vicky at least 6 or 7 different reasons. It could even be pica. It's pretty rare because most dogs get really good food nowadays, but pica, and I remember working in Europe, is very, very difficult because they have these bizarre cravings. I had a dog that was only chewing matches, and we couldn't figure out why was the dog only chewing matches. He was lacking sulfur in his diet. Years ago, there was a product called Trixie Sulfur Dog, and we put it in the water, and it would emit sulfur a little bit at a time, and once we started doing that, the problem was resolved. So you got to really interject and figure out everything that the dog's going through. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we have Doris, we have Ruth, we have Nancy, we got Elliot. Great time to give me a call. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You guys want to hear the story about the dog I taught how to play poker that won $20,000? You want to hear that story? Maybe I'll share it with you when we come back. 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. I want you to listen. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to talk to, we're going to take you guys in order. We got Doris in L.A. We have Elliot in Glendale. We got Nancy. We got Ruth. 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a couple of minutes. I'm going to tell you about this amazing trick that I had to teach this dog to do. Even freaked me out a little bit. So listen up. People want to hear some of the things I've done in the past. Well, here's one of them. Got a call when I was living in New York to a gentleman who lived on Fifth Avenue. Multi-millionaire. I was the trainer in New York at the time, and everyone wanted Warren to train their dog. So he called me up, and I went to his house. Beautiful apartment. It was like a triplex apartment, 3-story apartment. And I asked him what he wanted. And he had this beautiful shepherd, and he said, I want the dog basic trained. I did the basic training with the dog, and the dog came out great. And they said, but I want to do this. Warren, can you teach the dog, if I were to put down a $100 bill, a $50 bill, a $20 bill, and a $10 bill on the floor, can you teach the dog to pick out the bill that I want him to pick out? And I thought about it for like a week or two, and I said, here's what I can do. I can put down a 20, a 10, a 50, and a 100. I can teach the dog to walk around these bills in a circle and to stop and pick up a specific bill when you swallowed. So in other words, what he did is the dog would walk in a circle. It took me a couple of months to do this. The dog would walk in a circle around the money. And when I swallow, just like this, that's where the dog would stop and pick up whatever bill was in front of him. Obviously, we had them separated, so we had plenty of room. So I taught the dog to do this, and I charged a guy whatever it was, maybe $500, $600, $700, $800 back then. Who remembers? And then I saw him later, months later. I said, Warren, you made me a lot of money. I always make people a lot of money. How did I make you a lot of money? He said, what I would do is we have these big poker games, these thousands and thousands of dollar poker games at my apartment every week. And when my big players, when my big whales come over and they're betting thousands of dollars, what I do is I put down a $100 bill, a $20 bill, a $50 bill, and a $10 bill on the floor. And the first couple of times I have the dog, and I tell them, I guarantee you I can teach my dog to pick out the $50 bill every single time. Not the 100, but the 50. So what he did is he had the dog walk in a circle around the 50, the 100, the 20, and the 10. He swallowed. The dog picked up the 10 by mistake, and he said, I don't know what to do. Next time the dog would pick up the 20 by mistake, and he said, I don't know what to do. In the meantime, he was cueing the dog to pick up the wrong things to get the pot of money bigger. And when the pot of money got to thousands and thousands of dollars, then he would have the dog circle, swallow with the $50 bill, and the dog would nail it every time. Why didn't I do this for myself? I would have been retired by now. That was one of the most unusual things I ever had to teach a dog to do. Pick out a bill. And it wasn't which bill he picked out. It was when the man swallowed, just like this. Who would know that? If you're standing next to someone and they swallowed, who would know? But that was one of the more difficult things. And after I spoke to the man, he said he's easily won over $20,000 doing that. And I couldn't pay for parking in New York City. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Let's go to Doris, Los Angeles. Hey, Doris, welcome to the Pet Show. Hey, what can I click on? There you go, Doris. How you doing?
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to let you know about that I sent my grandson a Father's Day gift of Lucy's pet foods and everything because they consider their dog their child.
Oh, your granddog. It's your granddog.
Yeah, he's my granddog, right.
So for Father's Day, you sent your granddog some Lucy. But what a loving grandmother you are.
Well, they really, they have a rescue dog, and they love the dog, of course, and they send me pictures of the dog, not of themselves, but of the dog. So anyway, so I thought this would be an appropriate gift because I love listening to your show.
Well, thank you.
And and the dog, of course, the dog's call is Kumba, and they
Kumba, like in Kumbaya.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. I think it was from The Lion King.
Maybe I'm embarrassed to say this, but I never saw The Lion King. Gosh, bad Warren, bad Warren. So, do you have any pets of your own?
No, I used to, but not now. And now I'm in an apartment and different times, So now I'm too old to.
Oh, you're never too old. You can always every once in a while head over to a rescue humane and just socialize some dogs. You can always do that. I don't know what I want to say, Doris. What do I want to send you, Doris? Would you like a T-shirt? What would you like?
Well, I told your the person who answers the phone.
The lovely Suzette, yeah.
I gave her my grandson's address so he could send. So you could send something there. Maybe your book would be probably the best thing because the dog has a lot of energy, and so
that's the way a grandmother would say it. See, your kids would say, "Hey, Warren, the dog has a lot of problems." Only a grandma would say the dog has a lot of energy. Only a grandma covers for the grand. Anyway, listen, don't go anywhere, Doris. I'm going to put you back on hold. Suzette will get back on with you. We're going to send a copy of How to Get Your Dog to your grand dog. I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Great time to give me a call. I still got plenty of time to help you guys out. 866-870-KRLA. And again, if you know of a small organization, I'm not going to do this every week. I'm doing it because I hear every single day from groups, and I watch TV, and these groups get a lot of PR, and that's great. They get a lot of dogs adopted, and they raise a lot of money, and bless them. But there's the small mom and pops you never hear about. Those are the ones that need the PR. Those are the ones that need some marketing help. I'm here to help you guys. Send me an email if you're one of those organizations at mail@thepetshow.com, mail@thepetshow.com. Let me take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to Elliot. We got Nancy. We got Ruth. We'll try to get to all your calls. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Now, I kind of expected more response from you guys about the lady that was throwing a baby shower for her pregnant cat. Most of my listeners are involved with animals and helping and whatever they can do. And I thought this was one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard. I mean, maybe she's excited, but anyone who gets excited about having a litter born, and I'm not an abolitionist, by the way, but anyone who's excited about having a litter born, I always say, hey, listen, let's go have some coffee, and then we'll head over to the shelter, and before you decide to have a pregnant dog or cat and not have them spayed and neutered, how don't we take a walk over to the shelter? We kind of walk through it together, and then make your decision after that. Hey, the phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. What do you think about someone throwing a baby shower? They raised a lot of money. They got thousands of people saying it was a great idea. I don't think it was a great idea. I think they should have donated that money to a spay and neuter or rescues. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. I just got someone that contacted me that said, Warren, will you teach my dog to play poker like that? I want to win some money too. No, those days are gone now. Now it's a whole different ballgame for me. But it was an interesting time. I was spending an awful lot of time in some beautiful homes. And by the way, if you thought I was kidding, yes, I did train the original Mrs. Sulzberger, owner of the New York Times, did teach her Papillon how to cha-cha with her. She exercised every morning by dancing. She was in her 80s, and I taught the dog to dance. And let me just state this for the record. I've never danced in my life in front of a human being. In front of dogs, I dance all the time. That's my wife. I've never danced with a human being. Maybe once, but never danced a whole lot with human beings, but danced a whole lot with dogs. All right, we're back on the Pet Show. Just a reminder, the phones are jamming. If I don't get to your call right after I get off the air here, I do my national Canadian show for Radio America. I'll give you that number in a few minutes. I'll give you that number now. Don't start calling till 1 o'clock, but the number is 877-725 8255, 877-725-8255. You can start calling at 1 o'clock. Goes to Radio America in D.C. So let me get to some calls right now. Oh God, some great calls coming in. Let me go to Nancy first. Hey Nancy, how you doing? Hi Nancy.
Hello.
Hi Nancy, how are you?
Hi. I am fine. Thank you very much. I called in because I'm aware of a couple of dogs that have been left in the yards, separate yards. They're not even together. Person who owns them found them, and he's got them separated on different properties. Dogs, one dog in particular just kind of lays around on her back, and she kind of moans. She's just really lonesome. So, and the other dog, and that dog goes inside usually at night in a cage and then gets let out in the morning.
All right, so Nancy, I don't want to run out of time, but the bottom line is he doing anything that's illegal?
No, but how do we save these dogs? There's
someone needs to have a conversation with the man. I mean, obviously
We all did.
But he's not doing anything illegal, right?
No.
So there's nothing we can do legally to make him give up the dogs. The only thing we can try to do is convince him to give up the dogs. Maybe if everyone got together and raised a few dollars, maybe he would let them go at that point. But the bottom line is, as long as the dogs are getting food, water, proper sustenance, and shelter, legally, listen, I served as a peace officer. That drove me crazy. But legally, there's not a lot you can do. If there's any abuse going on.
I don't know if the dog on a different property, which is the newer dog.
Yeah, but there's no law that says
left outside 24/7.
As long is there a doghouse?
I don't know, actually. I really don't know.
Those are the things you have to check into. I can only answer accordingly. Bottom line is, if there's no doghouse and there's no shelter for the dog, then he's violating the law. Okay?
And who do you call on that?
You would call animal control. You can call the local police department. Maybe they'll refer you, but that's who I would call at this point. I wish I had a better answer for you. If he was doing something illegal, then I could. But, there's nothing he's doing illegally. And if you're being honest and telling me everyone has sat down in the neighborhood, written a letter to him, talked to him, confronted him, how can we help? Can we help you with the dogs? Are you having trouble financially with the dogs? If people want to help out, maybe he just doesn't understand. Sometimes, rather than get angry, and I had to do this many, many times, you have to sit down and educate them. Sometimes what appears abusive to us is not legally abusive. However, the person doing the so-called abuse is unaware of what he's doing. So I would recommend a group of people sit down with him if you think he's really abusing the animal and see if you can make that change. And I hope you can. But the bottom line is, if he's not doing anything illegal, it's going to be real difficult. The best thing we can hope for is you convince him to give up the dogs.
Well, he feeds it, he lets it in and out, but so I call it abuse because
no, listen. What you call abuse, and I call abuse is probably the same thing. If he doesn't get a hug and a kiss every 5 minutes, that's abuse. Anyway, I got to move on, Nancy. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you a T-shirt. But thank you for the call and thank you for your concern. I wish there was more I could tell you. Having served as a peace officer for many years in New York, it would drive me crazy when I would see what I would consider abuse. But by law, food, sustenance, shelter, water. And I don't know why part of it isn't socialization. I don't know why that wouldn't be part of it. But again, my heart just breaks for these two dogs. If the fact that they're separated, but if they're getting cared for that way, it's abusive psychologically, but is it abusive physically? We'll never know. Let me do this. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to try to get to all your calls. If for some reason I don't, write this number down, especially you, Elliot, Rich. I'm going to try to get to you and Joe, and Ruth. Write this number down. Starting at 1 o'clock, you can start calling my national show. It's the same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. And don't start calling till 1 o'clock because it goes to Washington, D.C., Radio America, On Postage Radio. Write this number down, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Be patient. Remember, that call goes to D.C. It's got to change, so give it some time. Start calling at 1 o'clock. I will get you your calls and send you some great gifts. But right now, I want to make your dogs and your cats as healthy as they possibly can. This fleece I could listen to this all day. We're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. You can let that play in the background if you want. Go ahead. Bottom line is, I don't want to rush anyone. So here's the deal. I only got like a minute or two left. So Elliot, great call. Ruth, Joe, Rich, write this number down. You can start calling it at 1 o'clock. It's the same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. Plenty of time for your questions. It's on Radio America. Here's that number. Write it down. Don't start calling till 1 o'clock. Be patient. It's got to go to D.C. It's got to change over. So let it ring, 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 ring. They will get to your call. The phone number, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Also, lots of new things. And the reason I'm pushing this, it's not a matter of ego or anything else. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I get up early every morning just about, and I put 1-minute tips and all kinds of videos up there, some great information up there, some podcasts I've done. There are great old videos, archive videos of when I was the creature keeper on the Mickey Mouse Club, or when I was doing the Tonight Show, or Our Magazine, or Regis and Kathy Lee, or the Today Show. Lots of great information there that you won't find anywhere else if you have not subscribed. And as I said, it doesn't cost you anything. Check out youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. And I know there's been a little confusion about my Facebook page. Here's the new Facebook page. You should be my friend there. It's facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. Until next week, you know what to do. Give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, a special hug and a kiss right between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you for listening to The Pet Show.